Hey, good evening, everyone, uh, and good morning to people who are on the other side of the world who will be also with us today. Um, myself, Suvarna Shinde, an IT professional, and I am part of Bookaholics Hub, kind of a founder member at the beginning when we started in the year 2016. And when we started, we were only few ladies, but today we are more than 6,000 plus on the entire social media. We have a very active community where we do a lot of programs like book exchange program, the book meets, the author meets, and this kind of a program that we will be doing today. So I will it is our main aim of Bookaholics is to inculcate the habit of reading with everyone. And if you are already an avid reader, then this is the place where you can get to know a lot of readers like you, and the books, and books is a knowledge ka bhandar. So I suggest everyone who has not yet a part of Bookaholics Club, please do join us. We are available on Instagram as well as Facebook, and YouTube as well. You can see our some of the interviews there as well. So much without much of ado, I would like to discuss today. As you know, we are going to meet today Dr. Rupali Panse. Okay, she is a Ayurveda professionalist from the last 20 years. As you know, Ayurveda, in a dictionary definition of Ayurveda itself, is knowledge of life, right? What it means, it is a technique to lead a healthy life by balancing uh, your body, soul, and your health. Okay, so Ayurveda has brought a lot of techniques are there which can we can use in our daily life with respect to when we are talking about it, especially of the food. Okay, and Dr. Rupali, who is going to be with us, who has written an excellent book, which I want to show all of you, is this Food Guru. Food Guru is actually a complete guide of what we should eat. Not only what we should eat, but also it gives you an more than a 130 plus recipes. I have learned so much. I'm so lucky to get this book and know about it, how it is going to helpful, what are the good habits, and what all things we can eat, and how the Ayurveda, which is an ancient technique which is written by our ancestors, is going to help us in today's day-to-day life, and especially the urbanization that's happening around is going to help us. So let's get directly now talk to Dr. Rupali Panse, who is as I said, she is a propagator of Ayurveda and the author of this book. She's affiliated with the 3 universities. Okay, out of that is 2 is Indian, while another one is international. Currently, she is joining us from USA, Florida. She's right now practicing her knowledge and giving all her studies, her experiences to everyone in USA as well as in India. So, welcome to Bookaholics Book Club chat. Thank you for
Namaste
joining
all.
and giving us, namaste, ma'am, and giving us so your time. It's very important. We know that, so I won't take much time, and I would like to know something more about you, and let us know to our audience what is your inspiration behind this book. Why so many recipes, and why I never seen anything like this. So yes, ma'am, over to you.
Okay, so I think there was technical issue. I couldn't hear you, but namaste all, and thank you so much, Bookaholics, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to connect with your viewers. So yeah, I'm excited to interact with all of you. If you have any question, if you have any things to share me, just shoot it out. This is your opportunity to connect with the diet. And if you want to know more about I think, did I miss your question, Suvarna? There was some technical glitch. These every lives are always interesting. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. Can you hear me?
Okay, did you ask me about interesting? I mean, what inspired me for this book?
Yes.
Because I couldn't hear your question properly. But yeah, inspirations, there are so many inspirations for this and my previous book also. But the basic inspiration and, which is ongoing are my
Hmm.
patients, readers, and my clients, not from India, but also from abroad. Which are from different and difficult backgrounds, customs, traditions, and they have like different type of lifestyle and diet habits. And when I started my practice, then I realized the importance of diet more than when I was studying Ayurveda, because it was Pathya diet, which is called as wholesome diet or therapeutic diet, which helped me a lot to attain various good results in my patients, most of the time chronic inflammatory and lifestyle diseases, because people most of the times comes to the Ayurveda when everything is done. They just bring us huge files of investigations to Ayurveda Vaidya, and we have to work on their diet, their lifestyle. So basic inspiration behind this book and my previous book are my patients, their queries, their experiences, and my positive, negative, results while treating them. So, yeah.
It's very interesting to read the book and to know a lot of things which we have, all of us know that water is the most important part, and whether it's a doctor or even your parents or anyone, they always suggest you pani pio, drink a lot of water. You have to be always hydrated. Do not so. But one thing which I have noticed in your book, which you have written very well about, it's not only about drinking water, but you have also important how important not only drinking water is important, but how important which vessel to use it.
Right.
So I want you to let the people who have joined us to know more about it, like what kind of vessel is the best for the water, drinking water.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the times, water is not considered as a part of nutrition, because you will find many nutritionists and even doctors, they will just say you that please stay hydrated, drink more water. But no, water also needs some efforts from the body to get properly digested and to assimilate in your body. So I have dedicated a separate chapter in Food Guru, which is like talks about water. What are the ancient Ayurveda perspective of drinking water? What are the correct ways to drink water? And when all the world is giving stress on drinking more of the water, how you should not drink the water is also important. So there are some really very important points which are really really hungry, because what your stomach need is food, not water. It's like pouring water on the fire. Your stomach is holding agni, which is metabolic and digestive fire, and you have to feed that fire with the right kind of food and not water. Otherwise that water will harm the digestive fire. So there are various rules about water, how to drink, how not to drink. Then not only how and how not to, but I have also tried to mention the importance of storing the water in various types of utensils, plastic, glass, silver, tin, wood, etc. Because water is like elixir. Whatever you treats water, it stores the properties of that thing in itself. Moreover, I will say that water even has memory. So you can use this water as medicine. So there are some recipes of medicinal waters also, like you can use those medicinal water in fever, in when you are suffering from an inflammation, or there are various waters which are really very good in keeping your mind fresh, and energizing your prana level. So it is really an interesting chapter, and I'm sure readers will have a totally different view towards.
Definitely, definitely, yeah. Yes, yes. Another very important aspect. we have seen sometimes our mother or dadi nani is saying ki are you had banana to uske upar pani mat piyo. So these are the kind of things, but we don't know the meaning of it. So these are certain combinations, food combinations. You want to share with us more about it? What should go, what can go wrong rather than the right? We are anyway following certain things, but what can go wrong? Would you like to emphasize on certain things on that basis, which you have mentioned in your book?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ayurveda nutrition and incompatible food combinations, they are the inseparable things, I guess. And many of you are aware that Ayurveda, always tells avoid this, avoid that, and do not mix these food combinations. So there is a very logical, rather very science behind that. And just to let our viewers know that there is a stream of science known as topography, which exclusively study the combinations of various food atoms and what they have effect after after they are being metabolized in your body. So definitely viruddhana or incompatible foods have scientific base also. And Ayurveda has described many incompatible food combinations, which you can definitely read in Food Guru with explanation why and why you shouldn't. So to mention few, like to give stress on various smoothies where different food classes are being mixed together. Smoothies are not bad, but the chef is disastrous most of the times because they are just mixing everything with everything. Okay, egg is good, mix. Okay, spinach is high iron levels, I can mix it. Okay, cheese is high protein and high calcium. Why not mix in smoothie? But no, the food science doesn't work that easily because every food has their own properties, their own chemical manifestations, chemical expressions on your metabolism. So few of them shouldn't mix. So in various smoothies, I will recommend that do not mix many food classes. If you are using vegetables, stick to the vegetables. If you are using dairy products, then stick to the dairy products.
Mhm.
Among dairy products, also do not mix curd and milk together because curd is having total different properties according to Ayurveda. Milk is having total chemical different composition than curd, and when curd and milk comes together, it gets curdled more.
Yeah.
So it will increase hyperacidity, it will induce some digestive errors, it will trigger allergies. Then meat and dairy products together is another no-no in Ayurveda. And most of the times cheeseburgers, then various burritos, they have
Mm.
meat and cheese together. So once in a while, whenever it is not possible to avoid, I can understand. But if you are making it a part of your daily life, then you have to be very careful. Another various milkshakes, citrus
Mhm.
fruits and milk. Again, no, according to Ayurveda, because we all know what happen if you add
Yes.
anything sour in milk, it gets curdles, right? It is
Right.
not able to express its beneficial properties after the
Mhm.
digestion. So if you want to have enjoy your milkshakes, then you can opt for dry fruit milkshakes. You can opt for sweet pulpy fruits like mango milkshake, or maybe you can go for fig milkshake, etc. But strictly no pineapple milkshake or strawberries or many citrus fruits like that. But
Oh,
trust me,
strawberry milkshake also is not.
yes, if the strawberries are, they are tangy, they are sour taste, right?
All right. All
So,
right. So this is the most famous
no, even I,
milkshake. No. So that's kind of a new thing to me. Like this, I want to tell our viewers that one very interesting thing I come across while reading the book. Uh, is about the sweets. Okay, so nowadays everyone, mostly even I am like that, to avoid sweets. Okay, कि नहीं इससे मोटे हो जाएंगे. I don't want to eat. But very interesting thing you have mentioned in your book about the sweet, and I want to really um, I want to really tell people that Dr. Rupali has mentioned that the sweet should be eaten before the meal. Okay, which is again a new thing that I have realized, that we always serve dessert at the end of our meal. Okay, but I remember when earlier days in the sense, even in my childhood, whenever my some guests come, and mostly that was the time when, so the sweet is always kept. Okay, it's not that we serve at the end of the meal. It will always along with all the food, the way we say the thali sajana, like that kind of thing. So it's a very interesting fact that the sweet has to be eaten before the meal. Why so? I
It's
want you
Yeah,
to
sure.
let the
It's
viewers
not
know.
before the meal, but it's at the start of the meal. So Ayurveda has described the sequence of eating the foods also, and it says that okay, sweets are heavy to digest. So if
Mhm.
you eat sweets that is heavy to digest food at the start of your meal, then you will have some kind of control on your eating. What
Ah,
we do
okay.
nowadays, we eat our meal like till we get full, and then we opt for dessert. So it's always overeating when the dessert is at the end of meal.
Yes.
And also
Mhm.
there is a importance of various taste and food according to Ayurveda. And Ayurveda says that madhura, which is sweet taste, should
Yes.
always consumed at the start of your meal, so that it will not increase the kapha. So there is a complex logic behind it, but the
Mm.
simplest logic I can give to the viewers today is that sweet is heavy to digest. So if you consume sweet at the start of your meal, you definitely will not overeat.
Oh,
So
great. And
in
one
some
very
sense, it will avoid
interesting, yeah.
indigestion.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rupali. One very interesting thing about you have mentioned about the jalebi. Actually, jalebi has a benefits in a weight loss. Okay, and even energy. It is energy booster, and how and certainly it is very beneficial even in the reproductive system. So
Absolutely.
jalebi, I never, I think most of us never looked at the jalebi as a weight loss and the energy booster, reproductive system. And so it's very interesting things which are written in this book. I want our viewers and whoever is watching us or listening us, please have this book. It has so many beautiful facts mentioned and with all the explanations. So I have told you one of the thing about the jalebi. So like that there are many. So there are around 130 plus recipes. It's with ingredients, with measurements is explained. But what is your own favorite recipe? I'm sure there might be many, but one of the favorite recipe that you generally try it or you like it.
Oh, it's like you are asking me which among of your kids you like, which kid you like the most. So these are like
Right,
my
all right.
babies, which I have tried to bring together in my
Mhm,
book Food Guru.
mhm.
Instead of choosing any one recipe, I will choose a class of recipes among them. So not my favorite also, but very important also when you correlate to the nutritional balance and micronutrients. The chutneys and spreads will be amazing to try, and I love chutneys, various chutneys, tangy green chutneys. And in Food Guru you will read various chutneys that you must have never imagined that I can prepare chutney from these things also. So among
Yes.
all of them, if you want me to choose one, the fig chutney is my favorite because it is the fig chutney,
Mhm,
fresh fig or dry fig chutney,
mhm.
and it is like loaded with micronutrients. It is tasty, and it is also a pathya food.
Great. So related to that only few things like which again that is your favorite, but some recipes or some dishes that you want that people should regularly eat, cook and eat. So
Yeah.
what are those?
Oh, yeah, that's a very important question you ask, Suvarna. I would give stress again on chutneys and spreads because we are not aware of the benefits of chutneys and spreads. We just use various ketchups and sauce to make sandwiches and rolls and other things. But if you learn about the various chutneys, it will be very handy in your kitchen, and you can make them, you can store them, and you can use them for weeks, or even some chutneys are you can use for months together. So I will give stress on the chapter chutney and spreads again. And another recipe class is soups, because most of the times
Ah,
the soups are only made when there is a specific occasion. But
right.
soup are all the soups are which are mentioned in Food Guru are considered as wholesome food even when you are ill. So it is under the Pathya diet concept. So I will definitely recommend all the soup recipes to the viewers, because
Mhm.
they are very easy on your stomach, they are very fulfilling, they are very tasty, and they are nutritionally very balanced.
Right. So that reminds me, when you talked about the chutney, is about the pickles as well. You
Yeah,
have very well written that pickles the traditional wisdom in a jar. Okay,
yeah.
that's what very well sentence written. And I never heard of dry fruit pickle, though I've heard mango pickle, haldi pickle, these kind of things we have seen, we have used, but dry fruit pickle is something which is like never heard of. So is it your own recipe, or it's there in Ayurveda? Like how did it come up
It's
in
not
the
in
book?
Ayurveda. Actually, I think some of my relative made it. I can't remember the name or relation, but I
Hmm.
ate it when I was a like teenager, and I used to love that recipe. Yes, it was my aunt, and I used to love
Hmm.
to, whenever I go in summer, I used to love. I love to see that jar, and I always wait to have that pickle. And since you are talking about pickle, I would like to give stress upon gut health, which I have mentioned in Food Guru, and the pickles come under the gut health preserving recipes. And you will find some very unique Ayurveda probiotic recipes in Food Guru. Among them, which some recipes like kanjis, etc., they are can be traced 10,000 years back.
Oh,
So there are
wow.
some references, Vedic references for these recipes. So Food Guru is not about just recipes and like medicinal values or health benefits, but it
Hmm.
also consists of very interesting stories about food. There are Vedic
Oh,
references and various
yes.
ancient books who have explained this recipe. For example, Kundalika. Now Kundalika is nothing but jalebi, but many people do not know the authentic name of jalebi, which is Kundalika, which is Kundalini shape,
Kundalika.
and it is
Hmm.
mentioned in the book Bhojan Kutuhala, which is a very ancient book in food recipes and food science or dietetics, I say.
Yes, I want to mention, I want to showcase one very good chapter from this book, which really interested me. Is this chapter number 18. I'm not sure if you all of you can see. It's a fusion food. Okay, this is one dish meal. It's a very interesting take on how we can use. Certain Western food habits into and make them very much Indianized into this Indianize this thing, and it is and how the twist was given. So this is what I want to suggest people over here that this is extremely important book, not only to get the knowledge, but you will get the handy recipes even for every small thing. So please, it is available on Amazon, and we have sent a link for the same uh, on in the chat box. So please do return. You mentioned about the relatives. Okay, so I have this kind of a fun question. Like, when you go to someone's house, you've been invited because you have so much knowledge, so much study. I'm sure it's like when you see when you see something, some food, it must be like it must be like कि ये what is this, I mean you should not have, I mean I don't know how to put it, but something like, as you said, ki smoothie, smoothies, the curd and milk should not be mixed together, and someone share you something like that. So does it happen when you visit and you've been invited that you keep on talking about your knowledge and how,
Oh,
how
many
how
times.
how do you handle that?
That is really a difficult situation for me many times because people call us, they are so loving, they are, they have
Mhm.
put so much effort to make things for us, and okay, like that. So, yeah, to just give an example, one of my really, really very beautiful cousin, and I love her. If she's watching this, please forgive me. But yeah, once she prepared some milk dessert, and she was so enthusiastic that okay, this dessert tastes amazing, Rupali. I have recently learned this from my friend, and I want you to try it. You will love it. Okay. And she made it from like milk. Then she said, okay, now this kheer you have to decorate whatever you want. So she put some fruits in it, then rasmalai in it, then gulab jam, then dry fruits, and the overall thing is like a cocktail, we may say. And yeah, it was incompatible according to Ayurveda. So there are some situations, but I do respect them because I am guest, and but yeah, I do convey them the message afterwards. So
Okay.
definitely it is a difficult situation, but trust me, I only do not go through this kind of difficult situation. My kids also, because they are so aware of all these incompatible combination. Okay, you have to not eat this thing with this thing, and oh, afterwards you can't eat such heavy dessert and all. So most of the times I am worried. Okay, my daughter or my son, they should stay silent and they should not teach anything to the host. So that is also like a difficult situation for me because my kids are really aware of eating habits.
Yeah, I'm sure. So that was, I was about to ask you the same situation, but you already answered kind of that, you have, again, I mean, when you cook anything or you must be, I mean, everyday food, so it's so used to of cooking those things which are very healthy or to say very Ayurveda specific. So, what is the reaction of your family, or if they eat sometimes? You stay in USA, so I'm sure they must be loving food like pizza and burger. So, how do you restrict that? I'm sure you may not be completely restricting it, but what's the reaction at home, or how
Right,
do you
right.
manage that?
Yeah, yeah, I totally got what you want to say. The preface of this chapter says everything about your question. You know how I faced difficulties when I moved from India, like 4 years ago. I moved from India, so everything was new here. The food habits, the kind of milk we are getting here, because we don't get fresh milk here, we don't get desi cow ghee here. So it was really difficult for me to cope up with that. But that is the beauty of Ayurveda dietetics, because it is not about just choosing the food items or just
Mhm.
avoiding some food items. It is about theories. If you know your body constitution, what is my prakriti? Okay, vata prakriti, pitta prakriti, kapha prakriti.
Mm.
Okay, what food properties is also a very important aspect of nutrition. So if I am aware of the food properties, and if I am able to do or able to cook that food following the correct cooking methods, then I
Yeah.
can balance this problem. So to give, I mean, giving brief answer to this question is really difficult for me. But yeah, the food guru mentioned all about this. If you have some difficult conditions where you are not able to opt good food, then what should be your choices, etc. And yeah, that will be the answer. So I think
Yeah.
we are also getting some viewers comments and questions. So first
I
of
think.
all, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, great.
yes, Varna.
Thanks. I have seen. I've just looked into the comments that people have some questions. So I'll take that first, then we'll resume. Uh, Manjita has asked, my mother keeps telling us, sit and drink water. Don't stand and drink. How true is that?
Okay, so there is a little bit science behind that. That whenever you come from outside, especially it is hot, you
Hmm.
have to bring your all senses together. You have to bring your body temperature to the normal. Sit, relax, and then drink water. If you are in hurry and you are drinking water when you are in hurry, there may be possibility of gag reflex or coughing, or you may I mean mistakenly the water can go to the windpipe, etc. So basically,
Hmm.
respecting your urges, respecting your natural urges is an important
Hmm.
thing behind this tradition or custom or advice, I would say. Because thirst, most of the time, thirst, hunger, urination, defecation, these urges are not taken seriously by us, but they are really very important natural urges. And this is the science, or this is the logic behind this thing, that okay, respect your thirst, give some time to your body and drink patiently, drink calmly, quench your thirst first, and then
Hmm.
do whatever you want to do. So
Great.
yes, there is a logic behind that.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rupali. I'm sure Manjita got her answer. Now let's go to the next question, which is Shailaja Shailaja Nistala. She says, I'm always told me that we should not drink water while having food. But I always feel thirsty while having food. Can we have a water while having the meals?
Okay, Shailaja, you must read the chapter about water in Food Guru, but I will definitely
Yes.
give answer to your question. Basically, it is a myth that you should not drink water while having the food. There are some rules about water intake. I'll tell you. Definitely do not drink water when you are about to start your meal, because otherwise you will kill the appetite. Drink water sip by sip in between your meals, like it will keep your tongue clean, it will make the food soft in your stomach, it will initiate the digestion process. Another thing, do not drink water like a whole glass of water, or uh, lota bhar ke pani. Don't drink immediately after you finish your meal. Just wait for some time, because an important first stage of digestion is going on in your stomach. Let it be complete, because you will be diluting your food, pH of your food, which should be a little bit acidic while the digestion is going on. So you can drink sip by sip water when you are having food. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Another question uh, is by Dvitiya Sonavne. Can I make milkshake with homemade strawberry jam?
Oh, you can once in a while, because when you make the strawberry jam, overall they are heated, they are mixed with lots of sugar, and
Mhm.
sometimes some people use homemade butter also for that. So overall, the tangy factor or sour factor in the strawberry jam little bit is reduced. So you can once in a while use strawberry jam for milkshake, but I'll recommend that strawberry homemade strawberry jam should be used as a chutney spread category.
All right. Yep. Okay, those were the questions from our readers. So I'll take, I'll ask something about, what are the other than nutrition? What are the other areas one can benefit from this Ayurveda science?
Yeah, it's a good question, because most of the times people are not aware that what exactly Ayurveda, for whom Ayurveda science is.
Mm,
So Ayurveda nutrition is also a very unexplored part, I would say, because most of the times Ayurveda has been looked upon for arthritis or some skin conditions and infertility problems only. But any Ayurveda practitioner can be compared to the family Ayurveda practitioner. So, to explain my area of practice, I do have pediatric clients, patients also. I do have like immunity compromised diseases class. I do have clients who are sound, fit, but they do want to follow Ayurveda lifestyle and food. They do want to know about what Ayurveda science is all about, how to keep myself good, what is my body prakriti, what is my constitution, what is seasonal food. what seasonal food I should eat and what I should not eat. Is Panchakarma for me? Even if I am not suffering from any diseases, can I have Panchakarma therapies?
Mm-hmm.
So trust me, Ayurveda has a different verticals among the practice. Among all of them, Ayurveda psychology is also a budding stream of science, I would say. And recently, there are various researches going on how Ayurveda dietetics, how Ayurveda herbs, how cooking spices play important role even in anxiety, depression, or other psychological disorders. So whenever any criteria regarding human mind health, body health, or human life, there is a solution
I,
or holistic approach to the Ayurveda. And thankfully, even in USA, I'm getting opportunities to connect with all these researchers and academicians to work on these areas. So yes, a lots of work is going on here also. So, like even if you have a simple fever, you can go to Ayurveda. If you have skin conditions, there is always something for you in Ayurveda. If you just want to live your life holistically with the help of Ayurveda, then also you can consult Ayurveda physician.
yeah. So, Dr. Rupali, you just mentioned that you do a lot of things. You mentioned about your practice in USA. So, apart from practice, what are the areas are you specialized and you are practicing in USA? And how is your experience there? How is people take it? I'm talking about not Indians, but the Americans, American people. How is their lookout towards Ayurveda?
Oh, trust me, the Americans and even the non-Indians here are really, really very interested to know about Ayurveda, yoga, and other natural sciences because
Mm.
everybody is facing the epidemic of allergic disease and all the diseases which are immunity related. So my experience here regarding Ayurveda is really very good. I'm surrounded with very good people, and I'm blessed to have various opportunities other than practice also. And if
Mhm.
you explain the logic behind some eating habits, they definitely can manage their food and their choice of food and lifestyle balance also. Particularly if I'm talking about Americans, they are really, really very specific about following all their advices. And just now, before this live, I was talking to one of my patient in New York. She's a very young, dynamic lady, which you can compare to the youngest generation nowadays. A very high profile job and everything, but still she is aware that okay, this high profile job, my lifestyle is taking toll on my health, not only my bodily health, but my mind is getting suffered. I'm stressed out all the time. But then she approached me, okay, how to manage all these things, my workload, my bowel habits has been changing. I want to get married, so I want a good body, good mind. And we planned diet for her. I planned some yoga exercises for her, some
Mhm.
panchakarma therapies for her. And trust me, she among literally 30, 40 points of advices, she followed every advice I have given to me. I given to her.
Hmm, great.
Even taking panchamrut, mixing water, leaving coffee, leaving dark chocolate. So yeah, people are really interested in following the things. They are very particular about following your advice. They need scientific explanation, and if you are able to explain them, they definitely follow. And apart from practice, I'm so fortunate to get some opportunities to contribute in the literature also regarding Ayurveda science.
Hmm,
So I'm working on some international publications here
great.
in the field of
Uh-huh.
nutraceuticals for psychological disorders. And I'm also teaching for one university, my separate independent course I have introduced there regarding Ayurveda
Oh,
nutrition.
great.
So
Super.
people are enrolling there to learn about Ayurveda food.
So nice. So nice. You mentioned about your
Any
consulting. How people in
also teach
India
from
can
4 to
reach you?
5 students here.
Sorry, I I think some glitch. I your hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Suvana.
Okay, yeah. So I was just asking, how can people reach to you for consultation?
Oh, yeah. Thanks to the technology, because I was so worried. I had my 19 years practice back in India, and I was so worried about my clients, patients over there. But thankfully, they are connected to me with online consultations, just like we can do FaceTime or we can have telephonic consultation. So, distance or country is not a bar to have consulting with me. They can just email me and we can fix an appointment and have a telephonic conversation or FaceTime, and then I can make a detailed, customized, personalized plan for them. So that is the way to
Yeah.
reach out to me. And so
Yes, I
you
can see that you
be
have a
able to
website,
my email ID in the
rupalipanse.com.
comment section, so that if somebody is interested in learning about Ayurveda nutrition, joining the course or consulting, they will be able to reach me. So my email ID is my first name dot my last name at gmail.com.
Great. We will put it out on the chat. There is one more question which has come from. I'll take. I know we are already almost 45 minutes, so I'll take quick question here from Dhruv Defense Motivation Center. I want to know importance of koshambir or raw food in our meals. Can you put some light?
Oh, this is really very good question because Koshimbir is the perfect traditional form of probiotic food in our thali or in our balanced meal plate, and its quantity is not more than one bowl. So the quantity of Koshimbir is always little bit on the left hand side of your plate. So including Koshimir is a very good practice, because nowadays, in the name of probiotic, people are eating synthesized artificial probiotics, which actually have live bacteria in that. So that is not a complete solution for your gut health. But
Hmm.
food like koshimir or curd rice or buttermilk or buttermilk related other recipes are a very authentic and very holistic approach towards the probiotic meal. And eating raw food in our meals, the quantity should be very low, because we are human, we are not animals. So our overall anatomy is really, it is structured to digest properly cooked food or soft food or easy food on a gut. But including some portion of raw food in your stomach will help and act as prebiotic food. Now, there is a difference between probiotic and prebiotics. Probiotics is the food which actually increase the bacteria in your gut, and prebiotic food is the food which will nourish and which will feed the bacteria which are already present in your gut. So Koshimbir act as both probiotic and prebiotic.
Prebiotic.
Definitely opt for authentic Koshimbir. There are some good recipes in Food Guru also. Thank you
Great.
for asking this question.
Thanks, Dr. Rupali. Uh, just one last, I will end this thing. Question is, you have suggested in the book everything is like you should follow the best lifestyle that will be, but there is certain small things like ginger lemon digestive drop. So, is there um, that one or two things at the end of this session you want to tell to our viewers that what is that two or three things you should do daily with respect to food?
With respect to the food, oh yes, definitely. Do drink warm water. Then always take help of cooking spices. You give an example of lemon ginger, which is a very good thing to follow if your appetite is weak or you are struggling with the digestion or bloating issue or constipation issue, etc. Another thing I would like to mention is panchamrut, which is the mixture of five
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
things. Panchamrut is made up of honey, raw honey, plus rock candy, which is khadi shakkar, then fresh curd, not the sour one, but the fresh curd, then cow milk, if you easily get cow milk, otherwise any milk can turn, and the cow ghee. So if you mix these five things together, 1 tablespoon each, and you mix it, you make it fresh. Do not make, store, or refrigerate it.
Hmm.
And if you take it empty stomach, it is an amazing probiotic for your gut bacteria and overall kapha, pitta, and vata balance. So this is definitely an positive addition in your daily food routine. So I will recommend this habit for sure.
Thank you, Dr. Rupali. It's so good to have, and it's the best thing. I started the interview with the Ayurveda is a knowledge of life. It's a dictionary meaning of it, and whatever you have, imparted your knowledge through this interview, plus this book. Okay, for everyone, I will suggest this book to have a copy of it. It is available on Amazon. Please do. It is kind of the way our our whole kitchen is how our whole kitchen can act as a pharmacy. It talks about that. Okay, so anything, any ailment, any disease can be cured just with the good food habits. Okay, this is what this book says, and Dr. Rupali's experience and her knowledge is completely poured into this. So thank you so much, Dr. Rupali, for bringing this book for us, and thank you so much for joining this interview. Really, it was a really great talk. I hope to see you in person whenever that will be. It will be a great conversation. Thank you so
The
much.
pleasure
Thank
is
you, viewers,
mine.
for joining
The
us.
pleasure is all mine. And if anybody has any question or want to learn more about Ayurveda food, I have also a blog site rupalipanse.com. So you can visit and have a look to the other articles also. Not regarding Ayurveda nutrition only, but all the Ayurveda lifestyle related things also. Thank you so much, Suvarna and Bookolics, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to connect with the viewers.
Thank you. Good night, everyone, and good day to all the people in US and other part of the country, world. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.